All right. So everybody in the house, who here would describe themselves as disorganized, maybe a little bit awkward, and prone to oversharing? Give me a cheer. Fuck yeah, I knew this was the right place. So, as has been said, this is my second time up here on stage for Hilarapy. It's really nice to be back. I'm kind of nervous. I'm not going to lie about that. But besides that, it's very nice to be back. You may not recognize me. When my last performance was put up on Spotify, they used the wrong photo. Sorry, I just had to make a dig on that. And it's been a really life-changing experience. I came in, I've been having troubles with a lot of shame, a lot of things that I kept to myself because I thought other people might judge me for them. These days, I am not afraid of anything. I'm just gonna go out there and be as honest as I can. I mean, I'm still afraid of ghosts. Let's not talk about that, it's a little too traumatic. And I think after my first show, it's really actually quite hard to feel ashamed. The first time I came in and I decided I was just going to be extremely honest about who I am, I literally came out on stage. I thought it was going to be a nice, safe environment. There's 100 people or so, pretty small crowd. I forgot I signed a release in advance. So now you can listen to me talk about all of my trauma on Spotify. It's a great podcast, give it a listen. Hilarapy has been part of this journey for me to accept myself and give myself the love that I've always wanted from other people. That's something I've struggled with my entire life. I'm a millennial. I grew up in the 90s and 2000s, which was frankly a terrible time to grow up. There was so much in the media, and it's always the same sort of bullshit telling you about how you should hate yourself. You don't look good enough. Your hair sucks. You're not a good enough parent to your animals. You're bad at parallel parking. Nobody is ever going to love you. And all of this got internalized. On top of that, I also grew up in Winnipeg. Any of you from the prairies, give me a shout. I'm really sorry. I'm glad you're here today. We're all in a much better place now. People from the prairies are weirdly conservative. The last time I went to Winnipeg to visit some family, I overheard this guy on the bus having a fit. I don't know how he got started. He was talking about how he doesn't really watch TV anymore because all of it is so anti-white and anti-male, and even Shrek the movie, had gotten too woke. That is going to haunt me until the end of my life. I really want to know what this guy's problem with Shrek is. And then he continued on about how, these liberals are making their babies vegan. And that's child abuse, all these vegan babies. And just as I was getting off the bus, he yelled, "And don't get me started on abortion." I'm so glad I don't live there anymore. It's kind of no wonder that I grew up wanting to kill myself. I'm much better. It's fine to laugh, by the way. In fact, please do. I'm very sensitive, and if there's not enough, if there's not enough laughter, you're going to see me outside in the parking lot after the show crying, and it's going to be a real mess. I'm a 3-ply crier. You've never seen somebody go through a whole box of Kleenex like I can. So yeah, this has been something that I've been fighting for. The media and TV in particular, growing up and watching so much, I got all of these really, frankly, wrong ideas. One of the things I believed was that in the criminal justice system, in the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. and there's an elite team of detectives dedicated to solving these crimes. That's not true. Turns out that one's not true. There's been a lot of stereotypes about people on, well, let's call it the rainbow spectrum, people who are gay, bisexual, transgender. I myself am bisexual, and for the longest time, I was really in the closet about it because people have terrible ideas about it. Within the last year, I've started dating a man, and some people seem to think that now suddenly I'm straight. That's cool. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to rip up my queer card? Are you going to take me off the subscription list so I don't get my monthly copy of the gay agenda in the mail? If you think I can't call myself bisexual because I'm seeing a man, you know who you should talk to? Your mom. See, we're in a feminist book club together, and recently we've been having a lot of discussions about gatekeeping in the queer community and biphobia. And then we fucked for 5 hours. The other one that's been affecting me a lot, and I think this is probably true for a lot of us, is body image, and especially when I was growing up, there was a particular way of performing femininity that was expected of me. Plucking my eyebrows, shaving my legs. Being a size 6 was considered like the fattest a woman could possibly be. I grew up with some really bad body image problems that persisted through most of my, through all of high school into college, and I still have these thoughts sometimes. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll look in the mirror, and that little cranky voice will go to me, look at you, Mrs. Many Chins. Do you got anything in like a 5XL to cover up all those wrinkles? But after Hilarapy, I am ready to fight those voices. Previously, I might have listened a little bit too hard. Now, when that shameful voice comes up to me when I'm on the street, I pull out a knife and I go, fuck you! You owe me some money for all the therapy I've had to go to. And then I chase my shame into a dark alleyway and I throw it in the dumpster because that's where those thoughts belong, in the trash. Body image. It's growing up, there was so many messages that were ridiculous or mixed. Probably a lot of you remember one of the old chestnuts. If your wife asks you, do these jeans make my butt look fat? The answer is supposed to be no, of course. But at the same time, if you turn on the radio, you might hear Sir Mix-a-Lot talking about how his anaconda don't want none unless you've got buns, hun. Which is it? How big is my ass supposed to be? Well, you motherfuckers make up your minds. One of the things I've been hearing about lately online is buccal fat. Okay. Where the fuck is the buccal? Is the buccal in the room with us right now? Actually, do you know this one? It's the cavity on the inside of your cheek. What the fuck am I supposed to do about that? You guys are just making shit up for us to be upset about. I'm done with this. There is a lot of people who treat fat as a derogatory term rather than as a descriptor. And I would just like to ask, can we stop doing this? People like to think that being fat and being attractive are on opposite sides of the spectrum. They're not. These things can overlap. All of us are living our own stories. And just because some other dipshit thinks that being fat precludes you from being sexy does not mean that has to be in my story too. I would drop the mic, but this is the only one that we have, and I think Lizzie might be mad. From now on, I'm just going to live the rest of my life with the guidance of a quote that I find extremely inspirational. If I may quote the modern poet Jay-Z, "Fuck critics, you can kiss my whole asshole."